People used to make fun of me and family never used to take me seriously. I was in like Disneyland at that time, getting to see like big sets and background score and Shah Rukh and Karan Johar and Kajol and directing and even someone like me who got a very lucky chance to enter the business. But to sustain, it's equally challenging. It's equally, I would say, mentally challenging as well. Okay with the attention in general as an actor now, today, in my personal life. Actually, Ram Setu is Akshay Paji's film, and you wish him all the luck, and even he is aware that we are coming here.
Hi everyone, this is Avinash Lohana and you're watching Pinkvilla. Thank God for Student of the Year, Bollywood got its own Shershaah. In the last 10 years, he's been a lot. A villain, a brother, a gentleman. But this Majnu has a lot more in store for all his fans out there. Please welcome the very dashing Sidharth Malhotra.
Thank you. That's a lovely introduction. Lovely play of words. Very nice. Lovely play of words. Thank you so much.
Sid, 10 years.
Yes.
Lovely journey. Lovely journey. I really want to start by asking you, do you remember your first day on a film set?
Absolutely. My first day in Student of the Year was on the sets of Radha, the song. Wearing that blue sherwani, kind of like a kurta.
Yeah, which became very popular
which, all thanks to Manish Malhotra and Karan Johar and all the styling. And I remember it was my close-up of entering frame and just looking at the dance and smiling.
Yeah.
So like, just a typical classic, just a head turn and look into lens. And that was my first shot in Hindi movies. And like so many memories. Now when you're mentioning it, there's so many things. I mean, and we only took I think 2 takes of it, and because we had such an experienced director, and so we were just following his footsteps. He said okay, I said okay, do me okay, great. Okay, we didn't. I think I didn't know better to ask for one more in that one. Who asked for one more in their first look shot?
Yeah.
So I actually used it. It's there. The look in the song where we look at Alia's character coming in is my first ever shot in Hindi movies.
Wow. When you were shooting that, or when you were on the set, first day when you were going on the set, had you imagined these 10 years?
Oh, no, not at all. I think for me, it was very daunting to be on such a massive set in the first place. Yeah? It's like, it's a very far-fetched dream to stay in New Delhi and believe in a service background household, middle class household, to believe that you will become an actor and be on the big screen. And people used to make fun of me, and family never used to take me seriously because it was not something that I was so open about. I think as a kid, I wasn't there that I want to be this. And it's only in my late teens when I started facing the still camera as a model. And then that whole thing, people started seeing different aspects and elements of it. So for me, just being on that first film, getting such a massive launch was a big milestone in my life. So I think now when I look back in 10 years, okay, great. So I thought that was a difficult part to get in there. Then I realized that the struggles that one has to go through to sustain themselves and how much we have to reinvent ourselves makes you realize that it's a big task to entertain this country and be in this business.
But I don't believe your parents and your family was not knowing that you wanted to get into this field, because just look at you.
No, actually, Delhi
and you started modeling when you were 18.
I started modeling when I was 18 for pocket money. I did for a mobile poster. I had done one thing which I got. I think paid. I got a check for 7,000, 8,000 rupees at that time, which is a big deal. So I gave that. I didn't have an account at that time. The account in Ethiopia, it was just we didn't know we had to make an account. So I made it emotionally and gave it to my mom, but I had no other account to give it to. So I don't know what else to do with it. And she obviously made an account and gave something for the household and to everyone else. So I think Delhi, every other guy looks like he wants to be a hero. So nobody believes us. So I think only till you start struggling and come to Bombay and put your money where your mouth is then they realize someone's actually shifted base. I was in Mumbai when I was 21 years old, and giving auditions and had a film. Then that film never took off, and then I was still there trying to make ends meet and do small modeling jobs or ad films. And then I became an assistant director where there was still some semblance in my Delhi home because कुछ तो regular income आ रही है
Yeah.
of some odd X amount of money, which was a great value to me at that time.
Yeah.
And then nobody guessed. We just auditioned for something called Student of the Year. That time we didn't even know who was directing it.
Oh.
And we in auditions we never knew. And all of us, I think they auditioned so many girls and so many other boys. And because me and Varun were assistants, so we knew kiske liye hai. But no, we didn't know. We knew which film. We didn't know who's directing it. I think even Karan kept it under wraps that he's directing that film. And so I think it's very difficult to guess. I mean, my family couldn't guess. I just had dreams in my mind and head and heart. And I feel blessed that I'm living it today.
Yeah.
And it's been 10 years.
But like you said, there was another film that was supposed to happen. I was researching. Apparently, there was an Anubhav Sinha film. Apparently, there was Fashion going to be your debut film.
No, the film wasn't Fashion, but yeah, he was the director. He was a director who was supposed to launch me and two other actors. And that was the film that I auditioned for in New Delhi. And I had flown to Bombay to audition again. So around a couple of rounds of auditions, and they had said, ki chalo, we'll train. And there was at that time, Ad Labs Studios was there, and they were pumping in money to launch actors and new talent. So it was a very great initiative. Yeah. It took 8 months to a year, but for various reasons, it never took off. And then at that age, you're so charged up with energy. You're like, let's do this, and film miliye, and you're prepping, training, dancing, acting workshops, making a physique, and then you're just waiting and you're waiting. You also feel those are the most precious years of any youngster's life. You don't want to just waste those years and miss out on some other job. So I think I gave it a year. And then when I realized it's not really working, I opted out of it, and in a way that I knew it's not going to happen. But that time, I think you have some different sense of confidence at that age that, I had to have that meeting with them and tell them that, I don't think it's working out. It's been so many years and so many months. And I think I'm leaving the contract and I want to do something else.
But after you became a star, did you speak to Anubhav sir after that saying, "Arey sir, वापस करते हैं कुछ"?
I've not met him actually. I've not met him. I've not spoken to him after that. No, I've seen his films recently. He met me when I was an AD on My Name Is Khan, because he had come to meet Shah Rukh sir at that time. But we've not met in recent times for a feature as yet. So maybe let's see.
Sure. And how did My Name Is Khan happen for you then?
I was going. A friend of mine. It was funny that actually I didn't really know what an assistant director job profile was.
Okay.
Till I was taking a rickshaw ride with a friend of mine in Mumbai, and just saying, "Kiara, abhi kya kar rahe hain? Shit, and, this scene, this performance." Then we would just start talking about films.
Yeah.
And he told me about an actor and his process of reading a script in Hindi, for example. तो ऐसा तेरे को कैसे पता?
हाँ.
So he's like, "No, यार, जब मैं assistant था उस फिल्म में, तो ऐसे मेरे को दिखा." I said, "What is that? Assistant? You were in the film, ये वो." And he says, "Yeah, there's a profile. You have to do this and this work, and you get to be on set. You interact with actors, give them scenes, and do stuff like that." And that I remember was so well engraved in my head. Ki something, instinctively you react to certain conversations in your mind, and I knew that maybe. If I'm free for that many months and not getting a job in Bombay, I should try and go to offices and ask for this job. So I told that friend also, I told other friends, and I went to offices, and they used to think I've come there to audition. But I said, "Nahi, I want to assist and be the lowest kind of assistant, and just to be on set and learn." I had never been to a film school. And that's how, Dharma Productions, I landed up, where they felt that I was there to audition. And then also through that other friend, that the ADs also have a certain group. So then I was lucky enough to enter as a very, very junior AD in My Name Is Khan, from giving the clap to handling background then eventually. And because it was a massive film, and it took about 2 years to make, from pre-production, shooting, and post-production. I think it's the best film school that I could go to. Yeah. And I learned everything on the job, and I was in like Disneyland at that time, getting to see like big sets and background score and Shah Rukh Khan and Karan Johar and Kajol and directing and it's so funny. And actually all of us from that assistant direction group have done something or the other today.
But just imagine this boy traveling in rickshaw going somewhere, to, getting the first film, to doing so many films, to Shershaah getting so many accolades, now being a part of the inner circle of Shah Rukh Khan, and you were assisting him at one point in time. Do you pinch yourself sometimes?
Absolutely. I feel like I'm still dreaming. I feel like that it's not fulfilled, and I hope I keep dreaming and my eyes never open, because I think that also keeps me sane and it also keeps me driven. Because my journey, you can only look back and realize where you've reached. And there's a lot of gratitude that I have for all the people who've helped me, all the mistakes or the lucky incidents that have happened. I think it's all happened for a reason, for me to be a part of this business and entertain people. And then even today, to be blessed with a film like Shershaah, which took so many years to get made and finally was out for people to watch. And then getting the love for a film like this is the right time. I think it's everything is, I won't say it's been smooth, but it's happened for a reason. And it's right now at the stage that I'm in, I'm equally driven to entertain and enjoy the next 30, 40 decades here.
Touch wood for that.
Touch wood, yes, hopefully.
I always say I wish the film would have released in theatres. It would have made a lot of difference.
I know, people keep telling us, that also, in retrospect, yes, we had a release date before pandemic.
I know.
And we waited for a year.
Yeah.
I was personally still fighting for it, that, because I had that kind of belief in it.
Yeah.
But there were such testing times that I feel, but I still feel we got the same amount of love from it. Yeah. Yes, this industry is obsessed with numbers and everything comes down to that. Yeah. So when you come to brass tacks, yes. But in terms of the love, in terms of the admiration for that particular character or Bikram Batra's story, I think we've got more than what we expected. So
sure. In testing times, do self-doubt seep in? Especially someone who comes from is an outsider who's not had a background to support. You always know that you always don't have somebody to fall back on.
Of course. I think people who come from the outside to a new city with dreams in their eyes, and even someone like me who got a very lucky chance to enter the business, but to sustain, it's equally challenging. It's equally, I would say, mentally challenging as well at the times, because sometimes you feel in the early stages of your career, you're a small part of the film. You can't do much than just give your scene and shots. The director's editing, director's shooting it, the editor's editing it, producer's presenting it. So you have very little to do apart from that day of work on set. And that's why, you don't have control over the fate of the film. So I feel at that times when films don't go your way, there are so many opinions in our media and so much written so quickly. It is bound to, play on your head. Also because I think for outsiders, it would be that unless you are liked and loved by the audience who's watching it, that is very difficult then to sustain. If you don't get that appreciation and love, you really can't fall back on anybody blindly to work with you. I've only made associations with people because they've liked some of my films or they feel I'm fit for that role. It's not like there have been some, easy films to gauge and, just get. Every film has been conversation. Every film has been like, kuch try karte hain, kuch naya karte hain. Some have worked, some haven't. But I think that inherent love that the audience or the likability that the audience gives you is the only thing that you hold on to as an actor who, comes fresh into the business. And yes, it is very challenging. It takes a toll on your mental health. It takes a toll on your morale. It takes a while to get your affairs in order back and focus on your craft, focus at what you have at present. Because I remember, I feel like this is where I keep telling my family actually that this is where the slightly dheet or a stubborn attitude of mine has come in handy, because it's very difficult to defeat or beat someone who doesn't stop trying.
Yeah.
I've never shied away from trying different things, different roles and different versions. And yes, so I think the testing times, the stubborn boy in me who came from New Delhi to become an actor has always won that conversation in my head and helped me gain that confidence.
Yeah. As the last 10 years also helped you learn to deal with all the attention that your personal life gets. So much is always written about you and Kiara, always.
Yeah. In that, I'm inherently, like naturally, just a more private person in general. Also, maybe because I don't come from that background. I've never had. Yeah, so I always have been that private person. You know, my household, my grandfather was in the army, my dad was in the merchant navy. We were not the most, social, outgoing people, a very middle class upbringing.
Yeah.
And I still, take a while to gauge the kind of, paps outside the house and outside this place, trying to get your picture, a moment. It still is kind of like an out-of-body experience that, why would they be so excited to see? These regular day-to-day things. I understand when I'm coming for a film promotion. It's okay. But these day-to-day things of, if people are walking out of gyms, I don't know what the big deal about that is. But it takes a while. I think now I'm more equipped with it. To that people are intrigued. But as long as they're not disrespecting it or pushing the boundaries or being unreasonable, I think it's fine. Sometimes when they try and dig in too deep or trying to make stories out of just people that you're meeting and hanging out with, I think it's not called for at times.
So you're okay with the love life attention?
Okay with the attention in general as an actor now, today, in my personal life.
How excited are you for Thank God? This is your first film with Ajay sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
My first film with Inder Kumar, first film with Ajay sir, biting into this commercial, fun, family genre, Thank God. Is a famcom, which I call it now. It's actually it's such a relatable story. This is the first script that I feel that I heard from start to finish, and I just knew at that time it made me laugh, and it has a wonderful message by the end of it. And I knew it has a director like Inder Kumar who has a massive grip on comedy, which I have not completely dived into maybe in this zone. So I'm really looking forward to this Diwali, where people get to see Thank God.
It also clashes with Ram Setu. Does that bother you?
No, I feel Diwali is such a period where historically multiple films have come. I think that's a period where people want to enjoy movies and come there. So I don't really feel that it's something that would hamper or take away from any other film. Actually Ram Setu is Akshay Paji's film, and you wish him all the luck, and even he is aware that we are coming there. So I think it's all up to the audience now.
Actually, I love the trailer and I can't wait to see. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Lovely. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to Pinkvilla.